Look at this! Do you know what this is? It's a brain. Your brain controls your body. It allows your body to function. The brain helps you breathe, think, feel, remember, and learn new information. When you read, do math problems, or play games, your brain is hard at work. Your brain helps you walk, ride your bike, brush your teeth, write, and so on. Your brain does this by sending signals to your muscles. Your brain also helps you use language. I'm signing right now because my brain is working. As you're watching me sign, your brain is processing language, and you're able to understand me. How cool is that? Do you know that some people study the brain, how it works, how people process language, and more? These people are called cognitive scientists. Right. Cognitive scientists study the brain. Cognitive scientists are curious about how the brain processes information, how neurons fire, how the brain sends that information to different parts of the body, and much more. There are many different jobs a person can do when they work in the cognitive science field. For example, take linguists. Linguists study language. Some linguists study the structure of language. For example, they focus on sentence structure and the order in which words are placed to create a sentence. Some linguists study how different people and different communities use language. They may study how it changes over time, how children acquire language, and more. Neuroscientists study the brain. Neuroscientists study different areas of the brain and analyze how our brains work. Neuroscientists study how the brain lets people think, perceive, feel emotions, make decisions, and do different things. Many neuroscientists use special equipment and conduct experiments to learn what our brains can do.
Psychologists study the science behind our feelings and thoughts. Psychologists help us understand why we feel happy, sad, scared, and behave in different ways. Some psychologists work directly with people. For example, some psychologists work in schools and they're there to discuss your feelings and experiences with you. They're ready to help you. What does it mean to think? What does it mean to understand? What is memory? Why is it that we remember things? Philosophers have many big questions they explore. Philosophers help us understand the world around us, and they help us understand ourselves better too. Anthropologists study how people around the world live, think, perceive, interact, solve problems, and exchange information. Anthropologists help us understand how culture and society influence how people think, process information, and behave. Some cognitive scientists work on developing artificial intelligence, or AI. These scientists develop complex technology. Their goal is to develop computers that can think, learn, create sentences, and solve problems in the same way the brain can.
How do cognitive scientists learn? They do research. They experiment, test, observe, analyze, and much more. Scientists collect and document information, and that information is called data. The scientific method is a specific process for doing research. Cognitive scientists follow this method. What does the scientific method entail? Well, first, scientists must have a research question. For example, a cognitive scientist might wonder, how do kids learn new words? Scientists must collect resources related to their question. Then, they can go ahead and begin learning more about their topic. For example, that scientist might read books about when babies typically start to sign or talk. When kids start to use sentences. And also the ways in which people have researched language development and acquisition in the past. That kind of information is important for a scientist to learn.
The next thing that scientists do is make a hypothesis. When scientists make a hypothesis, they predict what they might find. For example, a scientist might say, maybe kids learn new words by interacting with their friends at school, and that's how they pick up on new vocabulary. That may be a scientist's hypothesis. After scientists decide on a hypothesis, they go ahead and collect data. There are many ways to collect data. For example, a scientist could observe kids in a school setting and document what words and sentences they use. After scientists collect data, they then need to analyze it. In doing this, scientists try to detect patterns and understand why they occur. Scientists then record their results. They describe how they did their research, what they found, and what it means. After all of this, scientists can finally share their results. Scientists may publish papers, write books, or film themselves signing, describing what they learned.
When scientists do research, they ask questions, collect data, and try to find answers. It's really important for scientists to be fair and honest. Just like when we play games and have rules we must follow, scientists have rules too. These rules are called ethics. People may have different views and perspectives on what is ethical, but it's important to think about how to respect research participants and make sure their private information is kept confidential.
Also, before scientists can do their research, they must develop a plan describing how they will do it. Here in America, if research involves people, an Institutional Review Board, or IRB, must approve a person's research plan. Ethics are very important. Scientists can't make up information or decide to change their results. Scientists must be transparent and honest about their findings. Wow! Research is really useful. We can learn a lot about the brain and how it works. Cognitive science research helps us learn new things. It also helps people teach better and develop new technology. Most importantly, Cognitive science research helps us develop more questions to investigate in the future. Do you know what that means? It means we will never stop learning. Whoa, I want to keep learning. Our brains are really complex. My brain allows me to sign in one language and write in another. That's amazing. Did you know that there are many deaf cognitive scientists? Check this out.
Wow, I feel inspired to become a scientist just like them. Are you interested in cognitive science? You can start learning now. You can go to your library and start reading cognitive science books.
If you continue to think, learn, ask questions, and use your brain, you're already a cognitive scientist. You can become a great scientist, leader, and innovator. It's all up to you. Stay motivated and ready to learn. You can change the world. The future of cognitive science is yours. It is in your hands. In Your Hands is a cognitive science-focused project that's centered around learning about the brain and discovering its many fascinating features. It's about sharing that knowledge with you, and at the same time, working to pass that knowledge to new audiences for years and generations to come. That's why this is the sign we use for our project. This video was produced by the In Your Hands team. If you have any questions or if you would like to reach out, please contact us.